Optimism is the fuel that powers every success, loading ourselves with this, leaving no space for pessimism, refusing to do evil and choosing to be influenced only by that which is good, is a path we can all take to achieve the success we desire. Welcome. This is Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Coming up on today's pages, we take a peek into the future of bauxite mining at Alpart. Plus, in Healthwise, see what you need to know and do about obesity and overweight to keep fit and healthy. And later, the Institute of Jamaica comes into focus as we continue to celebrate Heritage Month. Stay with us for all these and more in our half-hour package.
When I didn't like school and mommy used to have to wake me up.
Tabla, hurry up. You're going to be late for school.
Hey, now that I have a tablet, you don't need to wake me up. Since mommy and daddy bought me a tablet, I use my tablet for all kinds of cool stuff. I use my tablet to read books. I use my tablet to learn about history and science. I use my tablet to help with my homework. I even use it to talk to my daddy at work. Hello, Daddy!
Learning is easy and fun with a tablet. Take care of your tablet, use it wisely.
Bauxite mining operations and alumina production is set to be modernized at Alpart in St. Elizabeth. Plans are in place for an economic zone to be added to the mix of development by new owner's Chinese company, Jiquan Iron and Steel. More on the planned investment in this feature.
An upturn in mining and related activities promises much for socio-economic growth and development. Nain and surrounding communities in St. Elizabeth are gearing up to benefit from new investment in this area. On July 19, 2016, mining conglomerate UC Rosal and Chinese firm Jiquan Iron and Steel Company JISCO signed an agreement for the sale of Alpart at a ceremony in China. Full consultations on the sale have been taking place with the Jamaican government, which has to receive and consider the best plans for structured and sustainable implementation. The administration is balancing the country's economic growth aspirations with environmental protection concerns.
The government and JISCO will be paying great attention to the environment and its protection, which are critical in the project construction and production. JISCO will have to strictly abide by the relevant law, regulations, and order from the Jamaica government regarding labor, health, safety, and the environment.
The sale is expected to be finalized by November 2016, setting the platform for preparatory work on the first phase of investment totaling $220 million to modify and upgrade the bauxite plant. JISCO's operations will be supported through a local registered office in Jamaica and a dispatch of some 200 persons on special work permits. Young Jamaicans will also be trained in China at JISCO's university through an exchange program. Importantly, the company says it will continue to employ existing Alpart staff and will recruit most of the former and available employees, creating approximately 700 jobs by the start of the first phase of improvements. Plant modification and upgrading is projected to run from December 2016 to December 2017 and will improve production efficiency and reduce production cost.
After the modification period, that is the post-December 2017, JISCO would have accomplished critical processing upgrading of relevant equipment such as digestion, filtration, calcination. This is expected to not only reduce production costs, but also enhance the effectiveness of production.
The plant will benefit from China's best engineering alumina production capabilities.
Designing Institute Shenyang Aluminum and Magnesium Engineering Institute is working for JISCO. They specialize in the mixed process of bauxite exacting. And this new process will greatly raise Alpart's competitiveness and production capacity. That approach can achieve 2 million tons of alumina per annum in half year. And that's good news and hopefully exciting news for the mining industry in Jamaica.
2 major sub-projects are also to be undertaken, which will see the upgrading of Port Kaiser and addition of a 1,000 megawatt electricity generation plant.
In this regard, GISCO is currently exploring 3 types of resource, including natural gas, shale gas, or artificial gas, coal to gas for Alpart energy modification.
GISCO also plans to build out a complete industrial zone once this power supply plant is up and running. This $2 billion investment will comprise the bauxite mining operations, alumina refinery, a local electricity network, electrolytic aluminum, aluminum fabrication including aluminum rods, tubes and other industrial products. Openings for new businesses or expansion of existing ones using products out of the zone should provide opportunities for other value-added productions and a string of related services.
All of which should send a message to the Jamaican population that their opportunities align to that productivity level for small and other businesses to develop around it.
The Ministry of Transport and Mining, facilitating sustainable integrated development.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Part of keeping our roads safe is ensuring the vehicles we drive are mechanically safe, meeting all roadworthy requirements. And besides that, we must be good drivers and avoid risk-taking and sensation-seeking behaviors which are prone to causing road crashes.
Lifestyle-related health conditions such as obesity is a major cause of poor health, loss of productivity and deaths. But the adverse effects on our health can be controlled if we make simple changes to our way of life, such as eating right and exercising regularly. Take a look.
Overweight is defined as having an excess amount of body weight, but that can occur from increased amounts of muscle, bone, fat, or water, whereas obesity is defined as having an excess amount of body fat.
The excess fat that leads to a diagnosis of obesity mainly occurs when the body takes in more calories from foods than it is able to burn through exercise and normal daily activities. The result is a major health threat, as obesity is usually accompanied by other issues, such as type 2 diabetes mellitus and non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, heart disease, stroke, and various cancers.
Obese men are more likely than non-obese men to die of cancers of the colon, rectum, and prostate, and obese women are more likely than non-obese women to die of cancers of the gallbladder, breast, cervix, uterus, and ovaries. There are other conditions like gallbladder disease of different kinds, which are associated with obesity.
Infertility and poor quality of life can also result. So diagnosis and management of obesity is of enormous significance.
And there are ways to assess it. The commonest way to assess obesity is by using what we call the body mass index, or BMI. And the BMI is essentially your body weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. And we have scales to judge what your weight status would be. Less than 18.5 BMI would be considered to be underweight. Normal weight is 18.5 to 24.9. 25 to 29.9 would be considered to be overweight, and BMIs of greater than 30 are all considered to be obese.
It's generally easier to gain weight than it is to lose it, which means avoiding practices that lead to excess fat consumption is the easiest route to avoiding obesity. But if you're already overweight, the process may be difficult, but it is achievable. You may need help from physicians, nutritionists, physical trainers, and even therapists, so you should seek them out if that's the case. Either way, most experts will tell you that weight loss requires behavioral change, lifestyle changes that are gradual and long-term.
The problem in our society, of course, is the same as anywhere else. Less physical activity, We're working harder, we don't have time to schedule exercise, and of course unhealthy eating habits. So more fast food, less fruits and vegetables, less freshly prepared foods, and consumption of large amounts of sugar sweetened beverages. So this is what fuels it.
Eating healthy helps to keep us healthy. Are you thinking about what would be a healthy and balanced meal, but just can't decide on what foods you should be having? Jamaica's food-based dietary guidelines can provide you with answers. The guideline from the Ministry of Health provides information for individuals, health professionals, nutrition educators, and the food industry. It encourages a daily diet of items from all the food groups. That should include fruits and vegetables, as well as peas and beans and nuts. And the things we ought to avoid are clear: excess salt, that is more than the daily recommended amount, as well as fats and oils and sugary foods and drinks. Also,
if you lead a sedentary lifestyle, then it's very easy for you to become obese because you're not going to be able to burn off the calories that you take in. And of course, if you eat unhealthily, you're more likely to become obese because your body's going to store all these excess calories as fat.
So one of the ways to counteract obesity is to engage in regular physical exercise, like going for brisk walks, jogging, swimming, or riding a bicycle. Regular exercises like these burn calories and get rid of excess fat and weight, helping to control blood cholesterol, blood sugar, and even high blood pressure. Experts in health services say children can be set up to become obese later in life. The Ministry of Health is working to address these issues as it focuses on key strategies to improve overall maternal and child health services. Don't be weighted down by obesity. Take charge of your good health. Eat well, exercise, and get about the business of living well.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your eat.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Children in Jamaica constitute anyone who is under the age of 18 years. And so once you have a child who is under your care and supervision, we encourage you at the Office of the Children's Advocate to always know where your children are. It doesn't mean that you have to be there with them, but you certainly know who they're with, where they're going, and the purpose for being there. This is a key component in helping to establish some rules in terms of some ground rules and helping to guide your children towards responsible and sensible choices, and also assisting you if something were to go wrong to know what is the first point of contact to assist your child. While you're not to look at everybody as a potential suspect, that you need to be very wary of adults, whether they're in positions of authority or not, that seek to want to have a very close relationship with your child. Somebody who wants to invite your child on an outing and it's just that adult and your child alone. Somebody who wants to take your child to a very special event to reward the child, perhaps for some performance that the child would have done in an extracurricular activity, or for academic excellence. We encourage you to look at these situations very carefully and to determine whether or not it's an appropriate meeting or outing that this person is propositioning for your child. If you're enrolling your child in a daycare, ensure that you know something about the track record of that daycare. Ensure that the daycare has what we call an open door policy, which allows you to go in, see what's happening, observe how the workers there interact with the children, and know some of the ground rules that guide these interactions. If they're going on outings, whether it be school trips or otherwise, ensure that at some point, even if you can't go to all, you do attend some of them, so you get yourself integrated into the system and the culture of the school. For these tips, and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to me, sister, cause she could be the next Prime Minister.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment, reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
Our museums house fascinating artifacts depicting our culture and way of life. They are an important source for education and enjoyment. Have you been to one lately? No? Watch this next feature, and I'm sure you'll be planning a trip pretty soon.
Welcome to the Institute of Jamaica.
Its foremost task is to establish and manage Jamaica's museums and galleries, among them the newly renamed National Museum of Jamaica, the Natural History Museum of Jamaica, Liberty Hall, the People's Museum, Jamaica Music Museum, the National Gallery of Jamaica, and the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, or the Jamaica Memory Bank.
We also have a museum in Hanover. We have a museum at Fort Charles in Port Royal, and we are about to open the National Museum Jamaica West in the Montego Bay Cultural Center, which was formerly the Montego Bay Civic Center.
The Program Coordination Division operates the junior centers, focusing primarily on developing the cultural and other arts development of young children. And importantly, IOJ oversees the collection, preservation, and display of artifacts for our education and enjoyment.
We think a lot of people don't really know that we have a lot of treasures here at the Institute. We have about 17,000 artifacts in the National Collection that is under the management of the National Museum Jamaica. The National Gallery has several permanent galleries. We have a collection of Taino artifacts at the National Museum Jamaica. We have a collection of musical instruments and very important artifacts for our Jamaica Music Museum collection. We are trying to encourage people to see the museum as a very important resource, not just of history, but to help us to understand who we are as a people and to help us to chart our way forward as a people.
nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Up next, top stories making news this week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced this week that government would be ramping up its efforts to improve waste management on the island.
Jamaica is not looking as clean as it should be, as it can be, and as it was. So we're going to be employing various strategies, the first one of which will be the introduction of a waste-to-energy solution.
The Prime Minister was on a tour of the facilities of the Wisynco Group, the country's largest producer of styrofoam and plastics. He challenged Wisynco and other private sector companies to embrace innovation to both sustain business and protect the environment. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett announced this week that stakeholders are close to signing off on all the paperwork and permits to add 750 new hotel rooms in Trelawney. He also indicated that this year's winter tourist season was on pace to be the best on record.
2,300 new rooms are coming on board for this winter. And already US and the UK and Canada and all our markets are pacing ahead by over 5% of last year.
The Rural Agricultural Development Authority and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation have signed a memorandum of understanding to scale up climate-resilient agriculture in the country.
We would like to ensure that rather technical skills in areas as water management, water harvesting, technical capacity building for farmers, using the participatory methodology known as a farmer field school, and other technical skills like greenhouse management, construction and management. Our team will be working very closely to make sure that all of the project objectives are met.
The Health Ministry is reporting that there is still no confirmed microcephaly case linked to the Zika virus in Jamaica.
We have 3 cases of microcephaly. None of these are severe microcephaly, and there are no probable cases related to Zika. So there's no baby of the 3 whose mother had a rash in pregnancy, and there is no confirmed Zika virus infection in any of the babies.
The ministry has introduced a number of strategies to identify, investigate, and follow up on all possible cases of the condition in the country. The Southern Regional Health Authority has boosted its ambulance fleets in Clarendon and Manchester by converting 2 2017 Toyota Hiace buses to serve the purpose. Regional Director at the Health Authority, Michael Bent, says $14.4 million was spent on purchasing and converting the buses into ambulances, resulting in about $7.6 million in savings.
And in addition, we have shortened the delivery time from 6 months to 2 months.
A water, energy and sanitation project has been commissioned into service at the Beersheba Primary School in Newmarket, St. Elizabeth. The $2.5 million project was undertaken by the Rural Water Supply Limited. Minister with responsibility for water, Dr. Horace Chang, says it is a first of many as the administration is determined to ensure that all schools are transitioned from pit latrines within this academic year.
We'll be having discussion with the Ministry of Education to identify all the schools in need of this kind of transformation. We'll give them proper rainwater harvesting facilities. We'll put in the solar and ensure all our children, even deep rural Jamaica, will have a good school, physically good school to go to.
Education Minister Senator Roel Reid says government will be spending $30 million on a 3-year program to furnish schools with stretchers and other medical equipment as part of emergency plans at the institutions.
The government is committing for the next 3 years $10 million per year towards safety devices for supporting program in Jamaica in collaboration with
He was speaking at JAMPRO recently as Team Jamaica Bickle presented 15 automated external defibrillators, AEDs, to schools across the island. The AEDs are portable electronic devices that diagnose life-threatening cardiac issues and are designed to be used by lay persons. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has instructed the Ministers of Tourism and Sport to build a legacy symbol to represent the athletes who participated in the 2016 Rio Olympics. Mr. Holness says public participation should be invited to complete the concept. He was speaking at a reception to honor Jamaica's 2016 Olympic and Paralympic athletes. It was among 3 days of activities celebrating the contributions of the athletic stars.
What we are doing here is just symbolic to show that we care about you, our athletes, because you bring pride to our nation. You make Jamaica's name fly high in the world. And we could never pay you for what you have done in building brand Jamaica.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
And this is where we take our leave on yet another enlightening edition of Jamaica Magazine. We value your feedback, so keep the link through our various social media platforms. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm and please visit our website jis.gov.jm for the latest on government information. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you to take care of your health, eat well, exercise, get adequate rest, and make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.